So today, the main reasons that, well, analytics is really important. Search Console and Google Analytics, they're both really important because data is worth a lot of money. Data is invaluable. And if you're getting data about your own website traffic, your visitors, you're just going to be able to make better informed decisions and learn more about what their buying habits are and what they're interested in, what they're not interested in. But again, data is invaluable. Think about like Facebook and all these companies that are getting in trouble for data breaches. Data is invaluable. Even if you're getting 1 or 2 visitors to your website, that's still data that you could use over time to make more informed decisions. So this helps you, instead of just guessing on what you want to do, now you can actually have data to back up your decision-making process. Maybe you're wondering, should I move the button up or change it from saying add to cart on my website to maybe now saying buy now? Is that going to give me more sales? Is that going to increase my conversions? You can look at analytics, get that data, run some tests, and actually see, is this going to help out or not, instead of just guessing and changing things around and not really having any data to back it up. Analytics, Search Console will show you what's working, and this is just data straight from Google. So it's statistically accurate. It's going to be free, which is a nice part too. Should probably include that. It's free. So sign up, get this data, and you already have this data. I mean, you have access to it. You just have to sign up to Analytics and Search Console to be able to access it. But all that data is there. If you have a website, YouTube channel, I mean, it doesn't just have to be for a website. This is social media data that's involved in here, like Facebook, Instagram. I mean, they all have their own analytic platform or analytics on their platforms, but it's a little different. Google Analytics is going to show you a lot more information, the full picture, whereas those other sites aren't going to really tell you the full story of really what's going on. But so today, what I want to start off with was kind of what is analytics, going over Google Analytics, Google Search, well, talking about what analytics are, then go over Google Analytics, and then Google Search Console. And I mean, there's other tools out there to track analytics, but these are from Google, so I would trust these tools more than others first, and they're free, so I would utilize them first. But there are a lot of other tools out there you could utilize. It's not just saying this is the best one, but this is straight from Google, so I would trust this a little bit more than some other tools. But analytics is primarily tracking with Google Analytics. If you have Shopify Analytics or WordPress is giving you analytics on your website, that's good, but Google Analytics is going to give you a lot more information. It's going to really show you the full story and the full picture of what's going on. So, I mean, the more information you have, the better, but Google Analytics is going to tell you a lot more data than these other tools will. And you sign up by going to analytics.google.com. So if you don't have Google Analytics installed, you go to analytics.google.com, or you just search in Google Analytics. And Google Search Console, which is, or Webmaster Tools, it used to be called Google Webmaster Tools, now it's called Google Search Console. This is a tool to show you more of technical things going on with your website. It will show you what keywords you're ranking for. It will show you what position you're ranking for in Google. So this is more for SEO data. Google Analytics is just going to show you overall data about your traffic, but Google Analytics is really going to show you specifically data related to SEO, search engine optimization. Both of them, get both of these tools. They're both free, and I would highly recommend both of them. It's not like one is better than the other. They're both going to show you a lot of different data points to look at. So Google Search Console, you can sign up by going to google.com/webmasters/tools, or you just search in Google for Google Search Console. And you sign up on these websites. They're going to give you a little tracking code. You put that tracking code on your website. I don't have time to show you how to put that tracking code on your website because everybody has a different platform and it will just take too much time. But if you don't have Google Analytics installed, there's a lot of different ways to install it. You could add a code to your website. You could upload a file. I mean, if you don't know how to, just search in Google how to install Google Analytics on, and then whatever your platform is. If you're on WordPress, search how to install Google Analytics on WordPress. If you're on Shopify, how to install Google Analytics on Shopify. So, and if you need help with that, you can let me know after this class or the webinar. I'm happy to help out and try to show you how to install it. But again, there are a lot of different ways to install it. You use Google Tag Manager. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to install it. But both those tools install them sooner than later. The sooner you install them, the more data you're going to be able to get, the more data you're going to be able to collect, and the more information you're going to be able to have to utilize to learn about your audience. So Google Analytics, it's going to show you just traffic or data about your visitors to your website. Who's coming to your website? What pages are they coming on? What pages do they leave on? Where are they coming from? Are they coming from Facebook, from Instagram, from Google, from email, from people just typing your website in, from radio ads? So it's going to show you a lot of information about your traffic, and it shows you exactly where they're coming from. That's the main thing. And shows you, again, most popular pages. If you're a blog, you can see which pages on your website or which blog posts get the most traffic. If you're an e-commerce website, you can see which product pages get the most traffic. So there's a lot of information in there. I mean, there's too much information. You can see what country, what city, what state, what browser they're on, if they're on the iPhone 7, iPhone 10, iPhone 11. I mean, there's a lot of information in there. So I would, again, install it sooner or later. And this is what Google Analytics looks like. I'll show you an example of my analytics, but Google Analytics is a little overwhelming. A lot of people tell me, I don't know where to go. I don't know what to click on because there's so much here, and there is a lot. I just tell people, click on everything. You're not going to break anything. You're not going to do any harm by clicking on all this stuff. The more you click, the more you're going to learn. But this tool, Google Analytics, is what I use to report to all my clients. So I'm doing search engine optimization. I want to take the data straight from Google Analytics and Google Search Console, which I'll show you, which is going to just show me data about my traffic. And I can see what's going on with my traffic. Am I getting more traffic, less traffic? What keywords am I ranking for? There's a lot of information in here. And I see Crystal is asking, will Google collect data on my website? Is it a trade-off for using analytics tools? I'm not sure if know that once you install Google Analytics, they're going to be tracking you, but I'm not sure if they're not tracking you already, but they are tracking everything. So, I mean, unfortunately, there is no privacy. You have to give up that data in exchange to get these tools, or you could pay for Google Analytics. I think they have a paid version, which is, I think, $100,000 a month or something like that, which is kind of crazy. It's pretty expensive. So if you are making that much money, and you can afford it, but usually I say the free version is sufficient. You don't need to be spending all that extra money. But let me pull up Google Analytics. So here is Google Analytics. And so you have to sign up, create your account, and then you can see here's the page that you get sent to when you log into Analytics. On the left-hand side is all these different things that you click on. It says like real time, audience, acquisition, behavior, conversions. And click on everything. You're not going to do any harm, but you can just start with the top, and you could click on real time, and you could see in real time who is on your website. This is a great way to check to make sure your tracking code is actually installed properly. If you want to make sure that Google Analytics is working, you could go to real time on the left-hand side, click on overview, and then visit your website. And if it shows the number 0, saying that there's 0 visitors on your website, then something's wrong. It's not tracking. But if it shows that one person is there, then you know that it's tracking and it's getting data, and then you're good to go. So this is a quick way to kind of troubleshoot Google Analytics to make sure it is actually tracking without having to go into the coding and using other tools. This is a quick kind of shortcut that I use. But yeah, on the left-hand side, click on everything. You're not going to do any harm, but I'll show you a few of the more important things, and then I'll jump to Search Console. I don't want to spend too much time on analytics because there is a lot here, but the main place that I'm looking all the time is on the left-hand side. It says acquisition, all traffic, and then source medium. So on the left-hand side, acquisition, all traffic, source medium. This is going to show me where my traffic's coming from, which is really what I want to know. Where am I getting traffic? What pages are people, or what sources are bringing in the most visitors? So here you could see showing Google organic at the top, or 931 visitors. Direct means just people directly typing in your website or visiting your website from another URL. Like if you had an article published on the LA Times and someone clicks from the LA Times to your website, that would be direct traffic. And then you can keep going all the way down and seeing where this traffic's coming from. You can see Facebook, but then you can see Bing. Bing is down here bringing in 1% of the traffic. Yahoo is over here at 0.44% of the traffic. And this is kind of across the board. When I've looked at hundreds of websites over the years, maybe thousands of websites over the years. Google brings in the majority of the traffic. Google's going to probably bring in like 20 to maybe 80% of your traffic. Bing will bring about 1%. Yahoo might bring about 1%. And then the rest is going to come from, like, you could see social media or email marketing or just maybe an article published on another website. But primarily, everything really is going to be primarily Google or paid ads, depending on how you're driving that traffic. Every website is different, but in general, Google just brings in so much traffic. It's kind of crazy how much traffic Google brings in, but again, every website is different. You might be getting a lot more traffic from DuckDuckGo or another search engine. So you want to look at this data and see how many people are visiting. If you don't have a lot of traffic and your numbers are low, you might want to look at the last 60 days or 90 days or 180 days. I mean, the more data, the more statistically accurate this information will be. So if you're just looking at the past 30 days and you didn't get that much traffic to your website, maybe change that date range. So on analytics at the top right, you could change the date range right here. So I could click on the date and then I could change it from, I could click on June and get the whole month of June or March or April or May, or look at the whole year or whatever you want to look at. As long as you had this tracking code installed, you could look at this data. If you install Google Analytics today, you're not going to get any old historical data. If you install Google Analytics in a month, you're not going to get any of this past month data. So the sooner you install the tracking code, the more data you're going to be able to get about your visitors and see exactly what's going on. And now you can see there's about 4,355 people that came in the month of June. And we can see Google brought in 75% of the visitors. And then again, you keep going and seeing where the traffic's coming from. So users means how many visitors. New users means how many new visitors. So new people coming to the website. There's a lot of stuff in here. I want to go over all of it, but the main one that I look at is bounce rate, meaning how many people have come to this website and left immediately. So right here, you can see 73% of the visitors that came to this website left immediately. This means either something's wrong with the website, it might load slowly, or the content isn't there that people are looking for, or it might be mobile issues. I mean, there's a lot of things that could go into this bounce rate. I don't want to dive into all that, but just be aware that this bounce rate means people that have come to your website and left immediately. So you start scrolling down and seeing where people have come or where the higher bounce rates are. The higher the number, the more people have left this website. So we can see, like right here, 93% of the people that came from Facebook left immediately. If I was running Facebook ads, I would say, gotta stop this immediately, gotta cut this off. This is not doing any good, because Facebook, if you're running ads, Facebook's gonna say, we got you 50,000 impressions, we got you 300 visitors, which sounds great, but what happens after they go to your website and leave Facebook? Facebook does not tell you that information. Google Analytics is gonna really show you the full story of how many people left immediately, that bounce rate, how many pages they visited, how much time they spent on your website. And all these numbers are different, like pages per session, I mean, how many pages people visit, that's different. If you're a blog, you want people to stay on your website for a long time. You want them to keep reading your blog posts. You want that number to be really high. But if you're just an e-commerce website, you might not want people clicking around a lot. You want people to go onto your website, maybe in 2 or 3 pages, pick the product, add it to the shopping cart, and check out. So every website is a little different. Same with time on site. Some sites you want them to stay on your website really long. Other websites you might want them to just be on there for a couple minutes, and after that, check out. So, and everyone is a little different. You just have to understand what your goal is, what your call to action is for your website. But what really matters is at the top right, it says conversions, and we can see goals. This is something you have to install manually. So analytics is going to show you everything I just showed you, but if you want to see goals and track sales, you're going to have to track this separately and install these goal conversions separately. This requires a little bit of coding. If you're not the best, not a coder, you might need some help. I'm not really technical, so not all these goal conversions I could do on myself. I have web developers and programmers assist. Sometimes you have to add code to the website and track actual events, and it can become a little tricky. So that's why Google isn't just automatically added to analytics. They have you set it up because every website has different goals, and they want you to set up the goals that you want to track. But this is where you could see sales, or even if you're not even doing sales, like myself, I do SEO. I'm not directly selling my packages or my services on my website. I want people to email me or call me. So I could track as a goal how many people emailed me or filled out a contact form on my website or called me up. You could use different call tracking tools. So there's a lot of stuff out there that you could use to track these goals. So even if you're not selling a physical product, you could still set up these goals. And then you could see, where am I getting these conversions from? So I could see 20 came from Google organic, direct traffic got 16, Facebook got 1. So even though 93% of the people left from Facebook immediately, it still got 1 sale. So something is working there. I just need to figure out why so many people left immediately, which we could dive into that later. But here are where you are getting your sales. You can even sort it by sales and see, are there other traffic sources that you might not have seen or heard of? Which, especially if you look back and go to like 2000, like if you look at the past year, then you're going to see some real interesting data and see, where am I getting these sales? So you can see like Bing brought in 7 sales, Yelp got 6 sales, DuckDuckGo actually got 2 sales. So you can keep going on and learning about your traffic and seeing what's been working, what's not working, and how these sales are coming in. So if you also want to dive into it further, like you can see the bounce rate, 77% right here, pretty high. So if I wanted to see why it was so high, I could click on Facebook. So you could click on any of these traffic sources, and then at the top it says secondary dimension. This is where analytics gets a little bit more tricky, but I could type in here mobile. And then it's going to show me, it's going to break down Facebook traffic into mobile and desktop, and then I could really see, is there a difference? So mobile, so this is mobile traffic. 25 people came from mobile, and 100% of them left immediately. That might let me know that something is wrong with the mobile version of my website, or maybe people coming from Facebook mobile, they don't want to see what I'm showing them. They want to be on Facebook. They don't want to be sold a product or a service. So you can see 71% left on desktop, still pretty high, but not as high as that mobile. So kind of a lot of data in here that you can really play around with and dig into this and learn a lot about this traffic and see where it's coming from. And the referral source is where that traffic is coming from. So you can see if it's coming from Facebook, from Google Ads, let's say ads, or PPC. So there's a lot of different stuff in there. And one other place I'll show you really quickly before I jump into Search Console, because I don't want to spend too much time on this and take away from Search Console, which is pretty interesting. It has a lot of stuff in there. Is on the left-hand side, click on acquisition, all traffic, acquisition, site content, all pages. This will let you know which pages on your website are getting the most traffic. So you can see which pages get the most traffic, what pages, so what your most popular pages are on your website. I can see right here, the / just means the home page. 39,000 people, 39,000 page views were over the past year. I think we're looking at 1 year data, so that's why the numbers are so high. But you can see 39,000 people came to the home page. Then this page got 14,000 visitors, and this page got 8,000. And one by one, you can see where your traffic is coming from. If you could see, you could start looking at my blogs. Are my blog posts getting traffic? What's going on? You could show more rows at the very bottom right. You could show the top 50 pages or 100 pages. So you could start looking, is my blog getting traffic? Which usually blog posts, you'll see they're not going to get as much traffic as you thought. Sometimes they do, but usually in general, blog posts don't bring in that much traffic. It's a lot better to take those blog posts, post them on someone else's website, get that backlink for SEO, which is a whole nother topic, which I could go into another time. Do a lot of classes that are more focused on SEO, but this is where you can learn all about your audience. And this is my blog right here. You can see 368 people came to the blog versus the homepage got 40,000 visitors. So big difference there. This is where you want to make sure that your homepage is optimized. You can see the bounce rate. You can see if it's really high or low, or which pages have higher bounce rates, what's going on, how can I fix that? Like this page has a 71% bounce rate versus this one has a 40% bounce rate. That's a big difference in how many people have come to this website and left immediately. The higher the number, the more people that left your website. The lower the number, the better. On average, about 40 to 60% of your traffic is going to bounce or leave immediately. That's just general on how websites are. It seems pretty high, but in general, most websites have a 40 to 60% bounce rate. If you see something higher, then you want to go in and try to optimize and figure out why it is higher and how to fix that. But in general, the majority of your traffic is going to leave immediately for some strange reason. There's a lot of variables that go into that bounce rate, which I can't get into all of them. And It's a whole different class about conversion rate optimization, how to optimize your website traffic. Once you get that traffic, how do you optimize that website to stay on your website? So Google Analytics, there's a lot in there. I have fall day classes where I go in depth about SEO, social media, and I touch a lot more on analytics, but right now I don't want to take up too much time. But Google Search Console is a tool that is used for tracking SEO related data. So analytics is going to show you everything you want to know about your traffic, what pages they're coming on, what pages they left on, how long they're staying on your website. But Google Search Console is going to show you completely different data. And this is another free tool. So sign up for this tool, Google Search Console, search for it in Google and sign up and create an account. And then it's going to show you what keywords you're ranking for. It's going to also show you if you've been penalized. So if you have any errors on your website, if your website loads slowly, there's a lot more technical kind of information in this tool. So it'll show you any issues with your website that Google has that you could fix and address them. So, and this is a lot more kind of technical stuff, but this is still great information that I would highly recommend. And this is where I really pull my reports for my clients, is showing them what keywords they're ranking for, which I'll show you right now, is how you can see that for yourself, because this is straight from Google. It's not some third-party tool that's arbitrarily pulling data and trying to guess. This is Google Search Console. So Google Search Console, you sign up, create an account. This is the page you'll be taken to. On the left-hand side, it says, so there's a lot of stuff, just like in analytics, there's a lot of stuff you could click on. Don't be worried, don't be scared. Click on as much as you want. The more you click on, the more you're gonna learn. So on the left-hand side, you can see though, it says performance and search results. This is really where I go all the time. So on the left-hand side, it says, and then you want to click on all this stuff at the top to make sure you get all this information. Otherwise, it's not going to show you the data. And then it's going to show you what keywords you're ranking for. So on the left-hand side, not on the left-hand side, but in here it shows you queries, which means the keyword that someone's searching for. So there's going to be a lot of weird stuff in these queries, but these are keywords that people are actually searching for. This is exact text. The misspellings, the plurals, the synonyms, all these weird things. It's only going to show you the first 1,000 keywords, because Google doesn't really want you to know what you're ranking for. They don't want you to do SEO. So in the past, when I first started doing SEO, this tool used to be in Google Analytics, and they would show you all the keywords you ranked for, but Google realized that this is too much information and data is invaluable, and Google does not want you to know what you're ranking for with SEO. So they don't show you everything. They show you the top 1,000 keywords. And in here is again, you're gonna see some really weird stuff in here, but this is what you rank for. You might see people's names and like weird stuff that you didn't think you were ranking for. This is a good way to make sure you are ranking for the right keywords. Just double check, make sure, am I ranking for the keywords I want to rank for? Do my keywords show up in here? Are people actually finding them? If it's a bunch of just random words, then you might have to go in there and fix it. But in here, there's a lot of information. It shows like queries. So queries is a keyword. Clicks means how many people have clicked on it. And this is all from Google. So this is straight from Google. So clicks means how many people clicked from Google onto your website. 5,405 people clicked searching for the keyword plus followers. Impressions means how many people searched and saw it in Google but didn't click it. So 16,515 people saw or searched in Google for plus followers and saw this website. Out of those 16,515 people, 5,405 people actually clicked onto the website. So click-through rate, which is CTR, that's clicks divided by impressions. And how many people clicked or seen it, the higher the click-through number, the value, the better. On average, most webs, you want like a 3% click-through rate. That's kind of the average. The higher, the better, meaning more people saw you and clicked onto your listing. And position just means what position you're in. So position says 2.5. This is an average position. So position 2.5 means if I'm searching in Google, I might be number 1 when I search, but if you're searching in Google for that same exact keyword, that website might be actually position 5, but on average it's 2.5. So it averages it out. So if it says you're position 20, that means on average you're 20, but some people might see you as number 1. Other people might see you as number 40, but on average, it all averages out to position 20. So it's a little misleading, it's a little strange, but just be aware, position is average position. It's not your actual position. So there's a lot of stuff in here that you can look through and scroll through, and there's a lot of data in here. So discover on the left-hand side, I see there's a question. This discover, I think Google is taking it away. So it used to be there, and I think in May they might have removed it. So this used to be there. So everyone's not going to see the same exact stuff. Some websites have more features and functionality than others. So some people might see discover, some people might not see it. It might be it's going to be gone now, but there is a lot of stuff in here. On the left-hand side, it says enhancements. So this is where not everyone's going to see the same thing as I'm saying. Enhancements are just ways to enhance your listing to get Google to show more information about your listing, kind of like featured snippets or schema markup. So I'm not sure if everyone knows what that is, but if you search in Google, sometimes you see images appear in Google or stars appear in Google, or sometimes there's like a little search. Like I'll show you an example. So like if I search in Google for Target, you'll see this search appears. This is from Schema Enhancements, and this is what you'll see on that left-hand side of Google Search Console. Or sometimes you might see like, so if you search for keywords like this, you might see stars that appear in the search results. These stars are all from Schema, and this is where Google will let you know, like these review snippets, that's from, those are the stars. Google will let you know if they're working, if there's any issues. So you can see there's 124 on this website. They're all valid. There's no issues. That's good. It's okay to have issues. This is not going to really affect your SEO. So if you're wondering if this affects my SEO, a lot of webmasters come in and see that they have hundreds of errors, but this does not really affect SEO too much. This affects how the stars appear. If you have errors, those stars might not appear, or the site link search box might not appear. That search box that I just showed you in when you search for like Target or big companies might not appear, but here's where you can see if there's any issues. You click on valid. It'll show you valid. It'll give you details. Give you, again, there's a lot of information in here. It'll show you what's working, what pages have it on, if there's any issues, if pages don't have it. Core Web Vitals is something new that just popped up a few weeks ago. This used to be Pagespeed Insights, and this shows you how fast your website loads, the speed of it. So you can see right now, this website loads poorly, so that means we've got to go in and optimize the website speed and figure out why it's so slow, what issues it's having, and Google should tell you this information here. So there's a lot of information you could pull from here, a lot of data, and I don't want to spend too much time on all the little technicalities because a lot of this stuff is really technical, and even I don't know how to fix a lot of stuff. I have to ask programmers and web developers to go in and fix these issues. But in here, you can see if there's mobile usability issues, if your website's not mobile friendly, Google's not going to show you on the mobile devices. So I can see in this chart, it looks like there might have been an error on June 8th and 9th, but it looks like it's gone now. So that's good. But if there are errors, especially with mobile, this one is a big one. If your website's not mobile friendly, you're not going to be shown on mobile devices. And nowadays, mobile devices are bringing in about 60% of the traffic to your website. If your website's not mobile friendly, Google is not going to show you on mobile devices. In the past, when you search on the computer and the cell phones, they'd be exactly the same search results from Google. But now, Google separated the two. So just be aware, if your website's not mobile friendly, you're going to have some big issues. So this one I would highly recommend fixing. If you have any mobile issues, fix this one immediately. The website or the Core Web Vitals, which is speed, fix that immediately. You can also, again, there's a lot of stuff in here. On the left-hand side, I'll say manual actions. If you have any penalties, which Google might penalize you if you've hired an SEO company and they did SEO incorrectly. This is where you can see if you've been penalized or not. Hopefully you don't have any penalties. If you do have a penalty, it will show you the error here. And if you have been penalized, Google's not always going to show you the penalty in here. They might, but they might not. The only real way is you have to look in analytics and see if your traffic dropped. That's how you see if you've been penalized. Also, you can click on security issues, see if there's any issues. Then there is a lot of stuff in here to look through. See a couple other questions that were coming in about like automating reports, and I just pull these reports manually and go in here, go into Search Console, click on search results, and you could just export that data or the Discover or whichever one that we want to look at, or whatever you're reporting on. If you want to look at sitemaps or coverage or any of these things, there's an export. Oh, I see Sarah. Thanks for jumping in and helping out. But yeah, there's an export functionality on Google Analytics and Google Search Console. So you can download all this stuff and you get all the information. And then if you want to play with it and make some pie charts or use Gantt charts or really get deep in there with Excel, you can really dive in there and make some really interesting charts and pull some data points. And this is where the data comes into play. Make some pivot charts, or again, I'm not the most experienced with all this stuff. I really focus on SEO. I know the basics of analytics, but again, there's a lot of stuff you do like pivot tables and Gantt charts and all this other technical stuff. So I want to create a class about SEO, but about Google Analytics, but right now I really focus on SEO, but I will be creating one fully on analytics in the future because so many people ask me about analytics and Search Console. I feel like it's really important, but yeah, so a couple other questions. I see, is there a way to add schema markup on my own website? So you have to go in there and manually code schema into your website. So I've gone in and added, well, my websites are built on WordPress, so I could add plugins that will incorporate schema. Every platform is different, so you might need a programmer or developer to add schema onto your website. That's schema.org. It's a whole nother programming language. I don't know programming, so I don't know how to incorporate that, but that is how you could add it. And if you've incorporated schema on your website and you don't see it on this left-hand side under enhancements, you might just have to wait. Google might not have found it, or yeah, there's a lot of issues that could be going on, but you probably just have to wait. It does take time for all this stuff to populate and to get that data, but you can see there's a lot of data in here. There's a lot of stuff you could play around with to learn about. And I see a question from Jim is asking, do I analyze competitors' websites? So in analytics and all this stuff, we can only look at our own websites. If you want to analyze a competitor's websites, there's other tools out there, but they're just guessing. And I could analyze a competitor's website for you if you want me to. But Google Analytics and Google Search Console and all these tools, they're not going to show you any data about other people's websites. They're only going to show you data about your own website. So if you want, I'll do a website analysis for free for anyone. So if you go to SEOoptimizers.com/free, I'll throw it in the chat. You could go there and sign up and get a free website analysis. And I'm happy to dive in and check out your website from an SEO point of view. And yeah, and if you want to learn more, I do have a full day class that's coming up on July 11th. That goes in depth about all this stuff and more. And I keep it to 10 people or less. So it's more one-on-one, kind of hands-on, and really show you how to make changes, how to look at your analytics, and really how to do more. It's more for SEO, but I do cover analytics in there and Search Console. But if you want to check that out, I usually do them in person. Right now it's a little different with the online webinars, but doing them online, it's a webinar, so it's 10 people or less. And if you want to come to that, I will, you go to SEOoptimizers.com/learn, and that is where I'm going to go into about all this stuff. It's usually $199, but due to the quarantine and lockdown, I don't have to spend money on a room, and the room usually costs $1,000 to rent out a room. So right now, I'm able to drop the price from $199 to $99 for that 5-hour class on SEO and social media and covers analytics. I mean, cover a lot of stuff, but it's 10 people or less, so it's more one-on-one personable. So I'll throw that in the chat as well, the full day class. And then if you do want that, that website analysis or competitor analysis, go to SEOoptimizers.com/free. If you do want a copy of this presentation though, if you text the number, text number 313131, the word SEO, I'll send everyone 60 of my favorite SEO and social media tools that I use pretty much consistently. So if you text the number 313131, the word SEO, you can get a copy of that. And I'll stick around for a few more minutes if everyone does have questions or issues or topics that you want me to cover. But definitely, I do appreciate everyone coming out today. Hopefully, I know analytics is a little confusing. There's a lot in analytics, but just play around with it. You're not going to break anything. It's just a learning game. The more you click, the more you're going to learn about your audience and the more data you're going to get. Search Console is a little bit more technical, but analytics, sign up for Google Analytics. If you need help installing it, let me know. I could help install it for you. Or if you just go search in Google how to install Google Analytics on whatever platform your website's built on. It's pretty straightforward, but sometimes there are issues, so I can help out with troubleshooting and all that. But definitely let me know if you do have any other questions about analytics. Do appreciate everyone taking the time out today to learn about analytics. Not the most fun and exciting one, but do hear a lot of people asking me for that topic. That is why I decided to cover it this week, and I will be doing next week. I'm going to be covering Instagram. So Instagram is a lot more interesting. A lot of people, I mean, Instagram is probably one of the most popular social media platforms out there besides TikTok. So I'm going to be going over something a little bit easier to understand, actually a lot easier to understand Instagram, breaking it down, kind of showing you the basics and show you how I built my own Instagram pages to over 300,000 real followers, never spending money on ads, never advertising ever. So show you how you could grow your own social media platforms organically, how to set it up, manage it, how to post, how to use Instagram stories. I mean, there's a lot with Instagram and a lot of people are overwhelmed. So I want to kind of break it down and give you the basics and help out with that. So I feel like Instagram is a good one, but if you do have any topics you want me to go over, like if you want me to cover over like building websites or hosting like GoDaddy or whatever you want me to cover in the future, let me know. But I know Instagram is a pretty popular one and I get a lot of people asking for that one. Analytics, a lot of people asking me about analytics. That's why I did this one today. But yeah, definitely let me know. Keep coming out and I will be back on Wednesday with analytics next week, and I'll send everyone a recording of this and the link to the Instagram class. But yeah, again, let me know if you do have any other questions. If not, I appreciate you taking the time out today to learn about some more digital marketing topics, which are not the most exciting, but this is all good and it's all going to help you in that long run. So, and keep coming out, and I will hopefully see you next Wednesday. And I appreciate everyone for taking out that time. Hopefully everyone stays safe out there, and I'll see you next week.